Well, welcome to another edition of the Business Buzz. I'm your host, Jeff Sherman. In today's world, we see many people going out on their own and starting new and interesting businesses. And today's guest is someone that really exemplifies that, although he's been in business for quite a while. Tom O'Brien for Tom O'Brien Magic.
How are you, Jeff?
Welcome to the Business Buzz. And you have a very interesting story to tell. First of all, you're in the business, I would say, of what, business magic? What would you? How do you describe your business?
I describe my business as a event entertainer. I go into events, entertain the guests, whether it be a company, a small business, or a family gathering. Basically, coming in to entertain the guests, or basically be an icebreaker for them.
So it's a good way to get a dialogue started with a lot of guests, or a group meeting, or sales meeting, a motivational meeting, so on and so forth.
You know, in today's environment, most people are looking to have fun. That's basically all they're looking for. Within the last 12 months, that's all they've told me. We want to have somebody come in here. We want to have a good time. We want to have some laughs. We want to have some fun. And we just want to bring up that spirit of the crowd so that we can go ahead and do the award ceremony or whatever the case may be.
So it's kind of interesting, Tom, because, you know, in kind of every negative situation, there's sometimes a silver lining, not all the time, but sometimes. And it's kind of interesting because obviously we're in a very vicarious economic climate. And it's interesting you're saying that many companies are looking to get a little more energized, a little more upbeat. And that really dovetails well into what your business is, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've seen over the last 12 years that you know, the business has gone up, then it's gone down, then it's flattened up, and now I see it going back to the upward trend, which means that, you know, the companies are spending more money. They want to spend it and make those employees happier and keep that morale up because it's been down for such a long time.
That's very interesting, Tom, because a couple of things. First of all, you might be like a bellwether, canary in the coal mine, in terms of forthcoming economic climates. You know, probably a year or 2 years ago, companies didn't want to spend money on anything.
That's right.
Now you're saying from your read, they're starting to spend more money. And then the other interesting point you mentioned is that they want their employees to be happier, to be more engaged, and to be more upbeat. That also bodes well with what they see the future.
Yeah, I think what they want to do is they want to keep those core employees with the company instead of having them look elsewhere.
As the economy improves.
As the economy improves, exactly right. For sure.
That's interesting. So, getting back to your story, maybe you can share with our viewers a little bit about how your background and how you got into Tom O'Brien Magic.
Well, you know, the field of magic, I got into that at the age of 7. My dad was working in Hartford, Connecticut.
Last year.
Yeah, a year or two ago. Yep. And he brought home the small packet tricks from a magic shop, and we had 5 kids in our family. I was the oldest. He showed me the magic tricks, and I caught the bug. It was one of those things where I said, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. So he taught me how to do the magic tricks, the little pocket tricks. And from there, I just performed parties in the neighborhood, did birthday parties, went to college, and then worked for a major insurance company here in the area of Hartford. And I left that company in 1996 when the company sold the book of business over to another company, and I decided to pull the plug and pursue the magic full-time in 1996.
That's interesting because many people, especially in today's economic climate, are thinking about doing their own thing, starting their own business, going their own way, but they always get kind of tripped up, or many times they get tripped up in terms of overcoming the fear factor. How did you overcome that, or did you have a plan to overcome that?
Well, because I performed so much during the corporate years that I was able to establish some sort of a database of clients that had enough trust in me that I would be able to go back and perform repeat business over the years. So I've learned to build that database of good clients, and also to learn the business within the corporate environment, so that you can learn how to draw up a business plan, you know, some marketing ideas. So you meet a lot of people in that corporate environment that will help you in different avenues of the business.
Now that's interesting because you have a very good product to sell. That is your magic services and entertainment qualities. But no matter how compelling your business model is, isn't the hardest thing to get clients, to get gigs? How do you go about that? Isn't it sometimes intimidating?
Well, there's a couple ways I do it. I have a website. The website is geared toward helping the client. It's not so much about what I do, but it's basically what the benefits are that I give to the client when they hire me for an event. I'm easy to get a hold of. There's no secret of how to get a hold of me. It's either through a phone call, an email, or a website. And also, I network a lot. There's a lot of networking groups all over the state that they're business people. They're out looking to meet other business people, and I introduce myself as being an event entertainer. I help them bring up their morale as an icebreaker, and they're interested in that a lot. So a lot of my business is repeat business and word of mouth, basically.
Now, being in the magic business, just overall, in terms of magic in general, it seems, at least from my perspective, which is a layperson's perspective, it seems to kind of have an ebb and flow. Like sometimes magic is really hot, not from a business standpoint, just from people's own interests in terms of getting into it and maybe doing some tricks on their own. Do you see that in the overall magic?
Yeah, there's a couple things. You know, the interest of magic is sometimes brought out from a TV spot.
Like Johnny Carson, I think.
Johnny Carson was a magician, and he used to bring in all his magician friends, so to speak. But Steve Martin is a magician, was a magician. He still performs a few things in character as the great Flydini. But there are magicians that are that get their own TV spots, and that all of a sudden brings up the level of interest real high. So that helps me out also. But in turn, what I've offered to the community is I've got various different programs that I thought that might be of interest. First thing I have is a program called the Wizard School of Magic, and it's a program that I go out and I offer to the Park and Rec departments throughout the state and through enrichment programs, where I teach magic to children. If they are offered an opportunity to learn it, then they go to the Park and Rec or the enrichment program, sign up, and they spend an hour with me in a classroom setting, and I teach them 4 or 5 magic tricks, and they go home with a magic kit, and they're off doing a magic show that evening. They're the real simple magic tricks.
That must be really kind of gets you going in terms of getting young kids involved in something that you have a passion for.
Sure.
To see that on their face, because obviously magic's very engaging and gets people of all ages very enthused, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they're simple magic tricks. They're the things that I used to learn. And then I thought, well, if I can teach kids magic, then what about teaching a senior a magic trick? And I have another program called Be a Grandparent Houdini, and it's basically designed to teach the seniors magic, which they will then in turn show their grandchildren. So during the September-October time period, a lot of the senior centers and the retirement communities will hire me to come in and do a group of, say, 15 seniors, and they'll get all excited about learning magic. Now they can take these tricks with them when they visit their grandchildren, and they're now able to, it just brings the families together, because now grandpa and grandma are now showing their grandchildren, or even their great-grandchildren, some magic tricks. It kind of brings everybody together.
Fantastic. It must give you a lot of satisfaction.
Oh, sure. There's a trick that I do in one of my shows. I don't know if you want to see that or not.
Sure, I'd love to see it.
Is that okay? Is that all right? It's kind of a simple thing. It involves a couple red Nerf balls, and this is Nerf ball number 1. Usually a magic wand comes into play, and the thing is they don't make these any longer. You know why?
Why is that?
They're long enough. Anyways, what I'd like you to do, Jeff, is hold your left hand palm up. Beautiful. Up a little lower. That's perfect. Great. And all you need to do is give me a number, 1 or 2.
2.
2. I'll take ball number 2. You take ball number 1. Squeeze tightly.
Yep.
And put your right hand on top of your left. Now listen, Jeff. What I'm going to do is take your ball out of your hand. It's going to travel in the air and join mine.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Don't move yet. Pretty sure I have it. See the ball right there balancing on the top right there? You do? You've been drinking, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. We'll put that
I think
over
it's
here.
Against company policy.
I believe it is. We wave the wand over the hand, give it a little tap. Say the magic word, Jeff.
Magic word.
Magic words.
Magic words. Hocus pocus.
No, give me some more.
Magic word. Tom O'Brien Magic Productions.
No. Okay, that's good. How about Tom O'Brien Magic? That would be perfect. There it is right there. Great.
Oh my God.
Well, we have a problem. We didn't rehearse this, did we?
No. We should have rehearsed it.
Okay. Wait a minute. I know what's happening. I think you have my ball by mistake. Open your hand. The applause will be deafening.
There you go.
Well,
applause, please.
Applause. Let's do it this way. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
What hand do you eat with?
Right-handed.
You eat with your right hand?
Yes.
You don't use a fork. That's okay. Take the 2 balls.
I knew
squeeze tightly. Put this hand on top.
Yep.
What I'm going to do is take ball number 2 out of your hand. It's going to join number 3.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Number 3. We haven't gone over number 3.
Here comes number 3. I have it right here.
Okay.
All you need to say is go, the ball will disappear.
Go.
You got to be a little quicker than that because I have another show in August. Here we go. Ready?
Go.
Go. There it is.
Done. Again, we should have rehearsed.
Did you feel it?
I felt something, yes.
Check it out. Huh? All right. Put 1 here, Jeff. Put
It's
2
amazing.
here. Put 3 over here.
Yep.
And we're going to count to 3. You know the words?
Yes.
Here we go. Ready? 1,
1, 2, 3.
This ball, pocket. How many over here, Jeff?
There should be 2.
Jeff?
3.
Thanks, Jeff. It's Farmington math. This ball, pocket.
Yep.
This ball, hand. This ball, pocket. How many over here?
There should be 1.
1 for you. A little gift from me to you. Thank you for coming. Nice to meet you. And that's one of the tricks that I do that warms up the magic classes, and it's one of the tricks that I do in the business environment when I'm doing cocktails and networking events.
Tom, that is fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
So basically magic training is one of the areas of your business, right?
Training is important. Marketing is important. And getting new business is important, like any other business out there, whether it's magic or electrical or plumbing or you name it. Pretty much the same business plan, pretty much, except going after different clients.
And how many focuses are there to your business in terms of areas of expertise or areas that you focus on?
Well, the focus that I do is the teaching and the what I call mingling atmosphere magic, where you go into an environment and just mingle around and entertain guests there. And I also have another business that's basically where a company will want me as an entertainer, but they also want other things. So they may want a caricature artist, they may want a jazz band. And because I've been in the business so long that I've got some great connections on other performers, so the portfolio allows me to go in and get key performers to match their needs so that I can give them a complete package where they make one call to me and I give them everybody that they need.
But in the corporate environment, as you said before, it's kind of you're used as like an icebreaker to get the meeting kind of teed off in a good note and an upbeat note.
Sure. Yep, that's important because, like I said before, they're tired of not having to be entertained. They're tired of going to meetings. They're tired of having a meeting to discuss the last meeting and all these certain things like that. So it's come to that point where it's just let's spend it and let's have some fun.
Interesting. And are you also kind of enthused about the type of feedback you get from the...
the feedback has been phenomenal. I mean, this year, the 12th year that I've been in the business, this is basically one of the larger revenue-generating years that I've had ever since I started back in '96. So the swing is definitely coming back around. So it's plus what I've done over the last few years is I've done some TV spots in the area. And that sort of brought out some of the enthusiasm about having me come to a performance and do something for the business.
So you felt like a big kind of uptick in terms after you're doing a TV performance?
Yeah. And that worked out pretty well. And so it's been a lot of fun. A lot of traveling. You travel a lot in this business because people want you in every direction. Unfortunately, the teaching, I usually do that only during the week because I can only travel so far because it's an hour program. It's right after school, so you can't usually do a couple. So I'm thinking about expanding that business a little more outside of my geographical area so that I can have other performers do that program for me. So that's pretty interesting.
Very interesting. Now, you mentioned the fact that, the kind of enjoyment you get of doing what you're doing. And unfortunately, so many people are in jobs or vocations they don't really get a buzz out of. How does it make you feel to do something you actually truly enjoy?
I always get the comment, I wish I could do something like what you're doing. Like a lot of times they'll say, geez, I'm a painter and I want to pursue this full time. But a lot of times they're just a little afraid that, if they take that plunge, they're not going to get their benefit package. There's no vacation time, but they're their own boss. But a lot of times it's a matter of just taking that step, but making sure you have a plan behind you so that you can at least measure your results once you go forward. But I get a lot of comments all the time. How can you perform magic and make a living?